Assalamu alaikum students, I hope you all are fine. Students, we are in unit 4, that is multimedia presentation, and in today's lesson we will talk about the background fill effects, that how we can add the background fill effects in our Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. Add background fill effects. Background fill effects are used in slides to enhance their appearance. User can add pre-formatted background fill effects that are included with PowerPoint and can add customized effects. Following are the background fill effects which can be added in PowerPoint slides. Like we have gradient, texture, pattern, and of course a picture. Any picture that you have stored in your computer and you want to use it as your presentation background, so that can also be added as a background fill effect. So there are some pre-formatted and built-in fill effects given in Microsoft PowerPoint. We just have to use those effects and we can add them as a background fill effect in our presentation, which includes gradient, texture, pattern, and pictures can also be added. Here in the image you can see the background fill effects with the window which is named as format background. So it contains all the fill effect options with solid fill, gradient fill, picture or texture fill, pattern fill, or you can also hide background graphics. So we'll see all these options one by one, that how we can add these effects in our presentation. Now a stepwise procedure for adding background fill effects. First of all, gradient are used for shading. And what is gradient? Gradient is actually a type of shading that colors a shape with a smooth transition between two or more colors. Typically two colors are used, and the smooth transition between two colors is called gradient. Now the steps required for adding background fill effects are given below. First we have to move to the design tab in our Microsoft PowerPoint. Under the design tab there is an option with the name, and there is a button with the name format background. We have to click on that option and this window will appear. Now we can select any of the following options which are listed here in this window, that is solid fill, gradient fill, then we have the picture or texture fill, pattern fill is also given. You can select any of these background fill effects, and once you select any of the given options you have to set the color and other options related to that fill effect, and after that we will just click on the apply and apply to all option to apply the effect on all the slides in your presentation. So it's a very simple procedure. The first thing is to move to the design tab, and under the design tab there is a format background option given. You have to click on it and this window will appear. The window enlists all the given fill effects in PowerPoint, so you can select any of the background fill effect and set all the related values or options related to the fill effect, and then click apply or apply to all. So now in the coming slide I will demonstrate these background fill effects practically. So let's see what is there, how it enhances the appearance of our presentation. Okay, at the end if there is any question you can ask me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Computer Vision Academy. So now we will see that how we can apply these background fill effects practically in our presentation. See, this is the presentation. Currently there is no background fill effect, and we are using a white background in our slides. The first step is to move to the design tab. Now here inside the design tab you can see the format background option. When you click on it, this window will appear. This is the same window that we discussed in the slides. Now the first option which is given here, although it is not given in your book, but we will study it here, that is the solid fill. Currently it is selected, and the color that I have chosen here, that is the white color, and that is the default color. We call it automatic, and the transparency level is 0. We can select any other color from this drop down menu. Let's say I'm going for this color. So here you can see that the color is applied to the current slide. You can also set the transparency level from here. See, this is how you can adjust the transparency level. If you want to make it 100%, ultimately it will become white. You can select any transparency level, and after this, if you want to apply it to all the other slides, so you will have to click on the apply to all options. So this is all about the solid fill. Now let's move to the previous settings, automatic, and make it 0. Apply to all. So the next option is gradient. Click on the gradient. As we discussed it, that is the smooth transition between two colors. So here you can see the default gradient which is selected over here, that is the transition between light blue and white color. We can observe it. So now there are some options given for gradient. The first option is preset gradients. The already predefined gradients are given here, so you can select any of the given gradients from here in any color, like yellow and white gradients are given. You can select them. Apart from this, green are also given, and different concentration levels are set. So here you can select the preset gradients. Further, the type of gradient, like for example, if you want to make it linear, radial, rectangular, path, so different styles are given actually. You can select any. After this, the direction is also direction option is also given. You can select any direction, like this, diagonally. So different directions are also given. Further, angles are given. You can select the angle values, and you can observe the values, the changes in the gradient accordingly. Now here there is a gradient stop bar given, which shows you the stop positions for different colors used in the gradient. Like here, when I am moving the white bar, so it actually moves the white color in the gradient. So you can also set these values according to your requirement. It's up to you. Whatever the settings you like, you can apply it accordingly. So this is how you can do it. You can also delete the extra bars from here. Like for example, if you want to delete this one, select it and just click on this button. So this extra bar is removed. Now there are only two colors and the gradient is composed of two colors only. From here you can select the color. You can select any other color. Currently this light green color is selected. Let's say if I go for this color, so see I am adding another color in the gradient. Or if I want to change the color of this bar, so select it and then click and select another color. So this is how you can set different parameters for gradient. From here the position can also be changed. Bar positions can be changed from here also, and of course the transparency level is also there. So change the transparency levels by moving this bar forward and backward positions, and this will change the transparency of the gradient. After setting all these values, you can just simply click apply to all to apply this gradient to all the slides in your presentation. Let's say if I click apply to all, you can see that here the same gradient is applied to all the slides as a background fill effect. Now the third option was picture or texture fill. Okay, some different options are given over here. If you are going to apply some texture, then there are built-in textures given over here. Predefined textures are there. Currently the texture which is selected, you can see that is the first one. You can select any of the given textures, like for example if I go for this one, so it will look like this. So go for this one, it will look like this. So different textures are given. You can select any of the given textures, and after this different parameters are there. Offset X, offset Y values are given. You can apply all these options by yourself to observe the behavior of these options, and of course you can also set the transparency level for the textures and then apply to all to apply the effect to all the slides. One thing more, that if you want to add a picture as a background effect, fill effect, so you can do it very easily from the same option, picture or texture fill. You can just select the file from your computer, click on this button. Okay. Let me select an image. Let's say I'm going for this one. So I've added a picture over here, and this is added to all the. Okay. Let's say here I set the. Can you see the behavior of offset left? So this is the impact of offset left, and same is the case with right. See, you can also move to the negative side or to the positive side to spare some space on the slide, or you can just make it 0. In that case the picture will appear as it is, top and bottom. So you can set all these values along with the transparency level, and then click apply to all to apply the settings to all the slides. So this is how you can add a picture as a background fill effect. Okay, the last option and the last background fill effect was pattern fill. Now here different patterns are given. You can select any of the given patterns. Let's say if I go for this one, diagonal lines are there, and you can select any color. Different two types of colors are given, foreground and background. A texture is a repetitive structure, so you can select these two colors for it. Foreground color, let's say if I'm changing the foreground color, currently it's blue, the lines are blue actually. You can select black. Now you can see that the lines are black, and the background, let's say we are making the background is blue. So this is how it will look like. You can select different colors for foreground and background, and make it gray, so it will look like this. And the same apply to all option is there, so you can just click on it and the pattern will be applied to all the given slides in your presentation. So this is how you can apply different background fill effects on your presentation. It's one thing I tell you, that making a presentation requires a good aesthetic sense. If somebody has got a good aesthetic sense, so he can make a very good presentation. Okay, so this is how you can add different background fill effects. Okay students, so in this lesson we discussed the background fill effects, and further we saw that how we can add these background fill effects practically in Microsoft PowerPoint. So if you have any question, you can ask me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Computer Vision Academy. Thanks a lot, take care, Allah Hafiz.